Like when the whole industry of online advertising just started, actually they were not using auctions. They would just call it, an advertiser would call up a website and ask to put a banner on the website and pay a certain amount of money for a certain number of impressions, or vice versa. If you're a website, you start calling potential advertisers, kind of like newspapers do it or TV channels. And then very quickly that became not really scalable. And in the late 1990s, this company called Overture, which initially was called GoTo, was subsequently acquired by Yahoo, came up with this idea of this per-click bidding on search engine, where you bid for keywords and specify how much you're willing to bid, and then they would run an auction. And in fact, initially they did not have quality scores, and that's how we know that if you just rank based on bids, you get all these irrelevance problems. So then the industry started evolving. Google came out with their AdWords, where they introduced relevance scores. They also switched from first price auction to second price auction for a variety of fascinating strategic reasons. And then that sort of crystallized into the dominant model for sponsored listings. And in fact, that's when I started paying attention to this. I wrote some of the foundational papers analyzing these differences between first price and second price and how they work and how they equilibrate. And then as the industry started evolving, a different issue started happening, which is if you're an advertiser, suddenly you need to sit there and figure out all the potentially relevant keywords. And then for each keyword, should you bid $3, $2, and the world is constantly changing. So you start having this massive operations on advertiser side. You have all these agencies. And on some level, that's something that humans don't need to do. So then another decade later, saw a rise of auto bidding, where the new technology started developing, where you tell the advertisers, you don't need to go through this whole PhD in keyword selection and bidding. Just tell us the budget, tell us your objectives, and our internal bidding agent will optimize on your behalf. And in fact, one of the luxuries we had at Topsort when we started 4 years ago was that we already saw all of those best practices. So we didn't need, like most of those companies like Google, they had to add those things on top of each other. So it's a little bit like Frankenstein monster. But for us, we started from a clean slate. And so we, from the start, it's going to be based on the correct auction format with correct relevance scores. Auto bidding was there from essentially day one. And that allowed us to develop things very cleanly and quickly.
Oh,